Are the heart attacks, cancer, GI issues, injuries, etc. the cardio naysayers talk about due to the cardio or the carbs? Cardiovascular training done on an optimal fat-based metabolism is a 180-degree paradigm shift from the conventional carbohydrate-based one. Everything changes when you use the energy evolution shaped us for. OFM leverages all the modalities of training: long duration, HIIT, and maximum aerobic function training in a periodized structure to develop cardiovascular potential. It's not just all long cardio. It's not about comparing one type of training modality to another, but leveraging and synergizing the benefits of all of them. Hi there. Cardiovascular conditioning is a foundational piece in optimizing your fat metabolism. So, in today's video, I'm going to share the whys of cardio for those seminal aha moments that you need to recognize just how crucial developing your cardiovascular potential is for health and performance. Now, if you're an endurance athlete, I don't need to impress upon you why you need to do cardio. You know that. But there's a host of additional benefits from cardio when it's based on a fat-adapted physiology. Now, on the other hand, in most strength and conditioning, CrossFit, resistance training circles, optimizing cardio is kind of downplayed. Sure, I've seen the studies and read them on how high-intensity interval training can achieve the same benefits as cardio. Frankly, though, these studies and the confirmational bias they reinforce, frankly, just miss the point. Precisely because HIIT training is one integral part for optimizing cardiovascular potential. It's part of the training. Then there's that small anti-cardio camp, which will tell you chronic cardio is actually unhealthy. They cite examples of athletes who've dropped dead of a heart attack, say like Jim Fixx did, or died of cancer, or an infection, and of course, the GI issues common to endurance sports. There are even a few studies which suggest a lot of cardio is actually unhealthy. And guess what? In part, I actually agree with them, but it's not the cardio itself that's the problem. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's simply face it. Cardio sucks. As an ultra runner myself, I get that. We want the quick and easy. We want to and like to see results. And ironically, this has spawned an entire social media phenomenon of selfies at its core, which is nothing more than primitive animal courting rituals. I mean, we tend to care much about what we see, and we don't care about what we can't see and really can't understand. But after this vlog, you may not still be able to see what cardio is about, but you will understand why. Let's start then with that tried old saying, nobody does your push-ups for you. As athletes, we all know intuitively this is the why for why we put the time and effort into training. It doesn't matter if you're doing CrossFit, Zumba, boot camp, circuit training, or training for a marathon, ultra, or Ironman. We all know training is necessary to achieve our performance goals. But the same goes for optimal cardio. Sure, by default, your cardiovascular system will improve through any kind of training, but it won't be optimal, and allowing your cardio training to tag along for the training is actually a backwards approach. Yes, you heard it from me, it's backwards. Your cardiovascular system feeds your muscles. It is that two-way pickup and delivery system which feeds your cells the oxygen, the energy substrate, the fluids, nutritional elements, etc., required for muscle function and health. Similarly, this same system removes CO2, heat, and waste products from your muscles. So why would you not want to optimize this system first and foremost to optimally supply your muscle cells with what they need to perform at the highest levels? Think about that for a second. This is aha moment number one. And there's sound scientific basis for this. It's called evolution. Consider this. From our relatively lack of hair or fur on our bodies, our multitude of sweat glands, and our frontal eye set and biped motility, right to our single stomach and relatively small hindgut, humans actually evolved to be an aerobic apex predator with a cardiovascular capacity like no other mammal, relative to size, of course. Now you know the reason why. But of course, there's a fly in the ointment the naysayers point to for cardio. Enlarged hearts that seize up, cholesterol and saturated fat clogged in the veins and arteries, and even cancer implicated by cardio as the problem. And guess what? I'm going to agree with this. At the same time, I'm going to encourage you to optimize your cardiovascular potential. Yep, you heard that right, but here's why. The problem with doing large volumes of cardiovascular training has nothing to do with chronic cardio per se. The problem lies, once again, in our human meddling with nature. Now, until the recent rise of fat adaptation in endurance sports, virtually all cardiovascular exercise was fueled by massive amounts of carbohydrates, essentially sugar. This gives rise to that rhetorical question I'm going to ask you. Are the heart attacks, cancer, GI issues, injuries, etc., that the cardio naysayers talk about due to the cardio or the carbs? It's really well established that doing massive amounts of exercise fueled by massive amounts of sugar as glucose creates massive amounts of oxidative stress, lactate or lactic acid, free radicals, inflammation, and what's called advanced glycated end products or AGEs. And the issue, so is that the issue with chronic cardio? Millions of years of evolution made us humans supremely robust. And when you make that switch back to the energy substrate we're meant to use as our aerobic fuel, your own body fat, you not only dramatically reduce to a fraction the oxidative stress, the lactate, the free radicals, inflammation, and AGEs, but on top of that, you actually increase arterial vascular distensibility, capillary and microcapillary biogenesis, and synthesis of type 1 slow twitch and type 2A fast twitch aerobic muscle fibers, which also increases mitochondrial biogenesis. And also, hormonal and enzymatic balance are restored because everything is operating as it should and you don't have that large insulin spike. Cardiovascular training done on an optimal fat-based metabolism is a 180-degree paradigm shift from the conventional carbohydrate-based one. Everything changes when you use the energy evolution shaped us for. This is aha moment number 2. That's not the end though. OFM leverages all the modalities of training, long duration, HIIT, and maximum aerobic function training in a periodized structure to develop cardiovascular potential. It's not just all long cardio. It's not about comparing one type of training modality to another, but leveraging and synergizing the benefits of all of them. Doing so not only optimizes your fat metabolism by increasing fat oxidation rates, the amount of fat you can burn, but also shifting your crossover point to that really high sweet spot for endurance sports but more so, it actually significantly increases glycolytic performance at threshold intensities. That's aha moment number 3. Got it? So the take home, you simply cannot gain the full benefits of fat adaptation, nor can you optimize your fat metabolism without optimizing your cardiovascular system. The two work hand in hand and synergistically with each other for optimal health and performance. And finally, there's an added bonus. Based upon our work with athletes, the window of carbohydrate tolerance opens way up, virtually eliminating a highly restrictive and structured diet and allowing for a much more intuitive and natural way of enjoying food. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We're here to help you getting back to burning fat as fuel, the way nature intended. Thanks very much for listening.